Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Sorry it's been so long, I haven't been too well and I'm not still 100 yet, but I thought I'd push myself to get another video out for you guys. So this video will be for those PvM beginners who are interested in learning to solve the Twin Furies, using melee only, so let's get on with it, shall we? So the Twin Furies are combat level 1000 and they share their life points of 250k. Their max special hit can hit up to 7.1k, they are aggressive and do not poison. However, you can poison them, so bring some weapon poison along to help boost your DPS. Also, they have no weaknesses. Next we have the requirements. So you will need level 80 range to face this boss, although it can be boosted. You will also need to bring along a shield or a defender. Moving on to the recommendations. You will need at least 85 plus in your melee stats and 80 plus in defense. 95 plus in prayer for curses, so to unlock curses you will need to complete the Temple of Celestine quest. 96 plus in herb lore or 89 boosted to make overloads. 67 plus in summoning for a war tortoise. If you can bring a yak, that's even better. Eventually people like to switch out their bobs and bring a steel titan instead for the extra DPS, but I would only recommend doing that once you are not consuming your food and you are comfortable doing so. So next up is a list of some useful items. We have adren pots and replenishment pots. Now these pots are helpful if you are short on adren and you need to use the abilities such as devotion or debilitate, also essential if you decide to start using berserk. If you have an enhanced Excalibur, make sure to bring it along with you as it can save you some food. Now the bonfire boost. This is where you boost your life points with the highest tier logs you can burn. A timer will show up depending on your fire making level and the type of logs you have used. And finally, the extra familiar pouch. Make sure to bring an extra one along to avoid dropping all your food on the floor. Moving on to the gear setup. So before I go into depth on these setups, it is an example preset that you are welcome to use. It's not a best in stat preset or aimed to make your DPS any better. It's more to help you get your kills and last longer. Now there are going to be some out there that have different tiers of gear and extra items and different potion levels that also work too. I am wearing my full Bandos armor. If you've got anything better you can use that. I'm also using my Dragon Rider Lance for the area effect damage, as the sisters do share their life points. You can also use the Misuta's War Spear or a Crystal Halberd. As long as you've got a halberd type of weapon it should be fine. However, if you don't own any halberd weapons, it's also fine to bring along dual wield melee weapons too, such as the Twin Furie blades or chaotics or even Drygores. In my Scrimshaw slot I am using a Vamped Scrimshaw for the extra heals. In my necklace slot I'm using a Blood Amulet of Fury. Now if you don't own one of these I'd recommend investing in one, but for the time being you can bring an Amulet of Glory instead for the stats. In my ring slot is my Look at the Dwarves for those drops. Now you can switch this out for a Berserker ring if you don't own one. In my cape slot I'm wearing my Fire Cape. Now if you own the Tok melee cape use that instead. However, if you don't own either of these capes, use your high stat cape you own. Moving on to the inventory. So in my inventory I have my Bandos War Shield and my 2 War Master potions to last me an hour there. You can also opt out for the grand potions such as strength, melee, defense or the super potions. I also have a couple of super prayer renewal pots. Now you can also just use the super restore flasks instead. My heart teleport to get me to the God Wars 2. However, the heart teleport can only be used once the Tale of the God Wars mini quest has been completed. If you don't own the God Wars 2 telepad, you can use your desert amulet too. It will teleport you straight to Nada. Now there is another way that you can get there, and that is with the War's Retreat. It allows you to teleport directly to the Twin Furies as long as you've got 1 kill on them. So I also have some Protean logs for my bonfire boost. Now if you don't have any Proteons you can use like 5 to 6 of your highest tier logs that you can burn. Now if you have the War's Retreat bonfire boost unlock, I wouldn't worry about this. Now it's good to have this buff active as it does increase your life points and could even possibly save your life. I also have an extra War Tortoise pouch to reset the timer as I don't want my bits and bobs dropping on the floor. And I've got plenty of sharks in my bob and inventory. Remember, you can change anything of the above to your personal preference or what you feel comfortable using. You do not have to use the same setup as long as you stay above the tier 70 gear threshold. Also, before I move on to the next part, I would highly recommend investing in Cinderbane gloves and also bringing along a flask of weapon poison, as a poison damage does stack with these 2 items and that would be very beneficial towards your DPS. Now that I'm done explaining my presets and inventory, let's move on to some of the perks that are useful at soloing the Twin Furies. So I have a list of perks that I use to solo Twin Furies. Now you don't have to use the same ones, you can just pick a few to use based on your invention level. So I'll give a quick rundown on a few of the main perks to have. So we've got Aftershock 3, which is awesome for the extra DPS but requires 89 invention to unlock. Mobile to get there quicker. We've also got Crystal Shield 3. Now this is another good perk. So for those of you who don't know what it does, when Crystal Shield activates, it will keep a track of how much damage you take for 10 seconds, adding it to a pool of life points. Then for 30 seconds after that, any damage you receive will be subtracted from this pool instead of your actual life points. Now we've also got Enhanced Devoted 3. Now this perk is another great one. It has a chance on each hit replicating the devotion ability for 3 seconds. The perk does not put the ability itself on cooldown, however this perk takes up to 2 slots in a gizmo, meaning it cannot be paired with any other perk in the same gizmo. Now we've also got Impatient 3. This one's really good to have as well. It's a 9% chance per rank for basic abilities to generate 3% extra adrenaline. I mean, who doesn't want free adren? We've also got Crackling 3, which is another good one to have for the extra DPS, and Precise 5. Now this perk is a must on your weapon. This perk increases your minimum damage by 1.5% per rank of your maximum damage. And then we have Equilibrium 3, which is another good one too, as it does increase your minimum hits but also lowers your maximum hits. Now bear in mind, there are only these main perks I have picked out because they've helped me so much with soloing the Twin Furies. There are other perks out there such as Absorbative, etc, so be sure to pick the right ones that work for yourself. So the location of the heart is located in the Cadrian Desert. Now you can get there via the Desert Amulet 2, which will teleport you to Nada, or you can use a fairy ring. The code is DLQ. Another way you can get there is by teleporting to the bandit camp Lodestone and walking southeast, go over a bridge and walk a bit further east. Now added recently into the game is the PVM hub portals, so if you've already got one kill on the Twin Furies, tune a portal. Now once you're in the dungeon, start killing Zamorak's followers, which are located in the northwest of the dungeon. Now you'll need 40 KC unless you have 4,500 reputation in Zamorak's faction. If that's the case, you'll only need 20 KC. Now once that's done, go ahead and then start your instance on the fastest mode. Moving on to the Twins attack rotation. So the Twin Furies attack rotation starts with one of the sisters doing a wall charge. Then it's several auto attacks, then the ceiling collapse special, then some more auto attacks, then their final special channel bomb. After that it's several more auto attacks and then they repeat everything. So this fight is a pretty simple fight and easy to manage if you know the next attack coming. So in the next part of the video, I will be showing the mechanics and how to deal with them. So this is one of their first special attacks that happens at the start of the fight. Avaris, the blue-grey sister, will target you and dash from the wall across from one side to the other side. She will yell out a random quote saying ha ha ha, keep them busy sister, or think you can dodge me before she charges. So as you can see in the video to the left is how to avoid Avaris, and the video to the right will show you what happens if you don't avoid Avaris. Now if you get caught in the charge, you can get knocked into the wall and you take up to 2k melee damage. She will always follow a pattern going north to south, then west to east, and then south to north, and finally east to west. Now how to dodge this attack, you can see I've left my minimap on the screen. A good way to keep an eye on the other sister dashing is to watch the dots on your map. It will help you know which way she is coming from, so that way it's easy to dodge by moving out of the way before it happens. Now if you happen to get hit by Avaris, you can equip your shield and use Rezo to heal off the damage instead, and then make sure to get out of the way as she continues to charge at you. The next special attack is called Ceiling Collapse, so after a few auto attacks, Naimora, which is the red sister, will yell, "We will purge them all." She will then move to a new location in the arena and then fly up, becoming unattackable while she is attacking the ceiling. Then Acid Rain will fall, dealing range damage up to 1000 every 3 ticks. Now this attack can be avoided by simply standing underneath Naimora, which is the sister in the air, as the area beneath her is safe. However, if you're going with the group, there is another way to negate that damage. You can protect range, prayer, and use devotion. The final special attack is called Channeled Bomb. Now with this special attack, Avaris and Naimora will fly to the center of the room yelling "Burn, burn, burn," and "Come to me, my sister," while a ring of fire will also appear in the outer area, dealing up to 2500 damage every few ticks if you are standing in it. At this point, the sisters will not attack you, but only send out the fire bolts that hit up to 350 damage per tick. Another thing is during the Channel Bomb special attack, the sisters take double damage. You will also notice a bar that starts to fill up with orange. Now this is the timer for when they unleash their bomb, which can deal up to 4.5k typeless damage to anyone standing in its radius. Now a few seconds before the bomb goes off, the ring of fire will disappear. How to deal with this attack? So you can equip a shield and use resonance, or you can surge to the outside of the arena just before it goes off, but you would have to time it precisely so you don't take a big hit. Now if you decide to surge to avoid the bomb, it will take some practice timing it, so don't feel so bad if you happen to sign or die from doing it. Practice makes perfect. So now that we've gone through all of the Twin Furies mechanics, I will show you a full kill so you can understand everything we have learned today. And that is the end of my video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the notification bell and join my Discord server. Peace out.